too strong, but ain't nobody saying sorry. The speaker's so blown, no one knows what it is, but we keep it on repeat cause we don't want it to end. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just act. It's 3 a.m., but we ain't done yet. Trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives, and the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads, but right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Seahawks going up against the Giants. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Larry. Coming to you from just off the New Jersey Turnpike in East Rutherford, we are just about set for football on EA Sports from MetLife Stadium. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Giants. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
They go again with Rawls. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
A first carry now for Paul Perkins. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally, you can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Cliff Averill, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. On 2nd down, here's Manning. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett is one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
On 3rd and long, it's Manning, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep, and this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 45 yards. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Jason Pierre-Paul first burst on the scene for me, headed towards his draft year. You know what I saw him doing? Like 15, 16 backflips in a row on a YouTube video.
Athlete.
Absolute athlete. And he uses that agility to slip past guys and make plays in the backfield.
That draft year 2010, 15th overall pick. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
And this is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Canadian-born punter, John Ryan, to kick it away for Seattle. Back deep for the Giants, Dwayne Harris. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Perkins on 1st down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first and 10, here's Manning. It's hauled in by Shepard. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Silver Salinga on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Play action. Manning. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now,
yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taken with the defensive given.
First and goal, Perkins. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Back to Perkins on 2nd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Paul Perkins, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Giants add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gordon. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. The New York set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Will tie. 41 yards. yards. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. First down, this is Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Well, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the D looking like they may blitz. On the ground, Rawls. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one, but I don't think they're built like that.
This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Rawls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And he knocks it through. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Throwing on first down is Manning. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Throwing is Manning. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Time to step aside. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Fresh set of downs here. Shift together here from the D-line. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Caught. It's Cruz left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it's 1st down, New York. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Now they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
It's a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. So we come upon halftime. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this 3rd quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first down, back to Perkins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game.
Incompletion. A little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Manning going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got Will Tye complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Will Tye, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On 2nd down, Perkins. And some room to maneuver. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
You know it's really hard for a big-time running back? It's patience. Being able to hang in there when the runs aren't there, when you're taking some hits early in the game. With this drive, oh, he's come alive, and in a big way. Now he's starting to gallop.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line, right around the 2. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Old school defensive tackle play dictated just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle it. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past him, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there.
From the 4, it's 2nd and goal. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Ball on the 3, 3rd down and goal. They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Wilson, and that is incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Harris now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that. Super toe.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He's at the 40, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin taking it in. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Cliff Averill in there to sack number 8 for him on the year. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Manning throwing on second down. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Manning now to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Slot man moves right. They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses the stiff arm. And after the nice stiff arm, the next wave swarms in quickly for the stop. Earl Thomas in on the stop. And this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They were looking to find space there for Paul Perkins. And that takes us from second to third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And Gold is able to put it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. He's going to wind up and air it out. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
On second down, Rawls. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He's got Kearse. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Wilson going to Rawls on the dump-off. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
On third down, Wilson. Flush to his right. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And this is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Now out come the Giants. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so...
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Giants. Paul Perkins, his second touchdown of the night. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goal post.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Complete out right to Kurz. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He's going to float this one deep. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 39 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with fake praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover it? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go with Perkins again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one. Maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Halfback sent in motion. Time running out here on the play clock. To throw, it's Manning. And down he goes. A sack. They sack him back across midfield at about the 48-yard line. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Time for a break. Here's Brad Wing now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And they're going to go soft on the corners. On first down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. This is brought in at the 21. And New York set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Again, they go to Perkins, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there that gives him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for New York. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now Wilson on first down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. One last shot for Wilson. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this